Hello and welcome back once again to Wimpo Squirrel's YouTube channel. Today I've got a very fun deck for you. It's designed to take all 6 prize cards using Missing Clover instead of taking knockouts. Inspired by Josh from Team Fish Knuckles, who's been trying to win a game using Missing Clovers and Greedy Dice, Jirachi Prism Star, that sort of thing. So the idea is that you do not take knockouts, but you do take prize cards. So let's just switch to PTCGO since the list is a little complicated. Start off with the main star here, the Monkey Orangaroo with that Resource Management attack. Put 3 cards from your discard pile onto the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is going to allow you to recover those Missing Clovers enough to take all 6 prize cards. But obviously there's also this Lantern with Salvage, which shuffles 4 item cards from your discard pile into your deck. So you're getting a little more recovery, but you are limited to only item cards. So I like the Orangaroo for that versatility, as well as the fact that he puts them straight into the bottom of your deck where they can be instantly snagged by a looker. In order to make the game go long enough that your opponent doesn't take all 6 prize cards before you can with your Missing Clovers, you need to use this Shedinja with the Vessel of Life ability, which allows you to, once during your turn before you attack, discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and attach it as a tool card to one of your Pokemon. When it is knocked out, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize cards. So we're going to be shoving up these monkeys, putting a little bug on them, and making it so our opponent can't take any prize cards. In order to dig through our deck enough to be able to just cycle this every single turn, we're going to have a Swampert with the Power Draw ability. Once during your turn, you may discard a card from your hand and then draw 3 cards. This is going to allow you to churn through your deck insanely fast, especially if you get multiple of these up. You're going to be able to just dig through all your cards super fast. So let's just expand the list and look at everything else. Missing Clover, the main card. Obviously, you may play 4 Missing Clover at once. If you play 1 card, look at the top card of your deck. Terrible effect. If you played 4 cards, take a prize card. Amazing effect. It only works 1 time for the 4 cards. So the idea is we're going to use Steven's Resolve to search our deck for up to 3 cards, put them into our hand, set up these Swamperts, dig through our whole deck, and then infinitely recur stuff using Rescue Stretcher, which can shuffle 3 Pokemon back into our deck. So we can shuffle in an Orangaroo, an Inkata, and a Shedinja. And then, so that's one of our 3 Resource Management cards. We can also put in a Energy Recycler, shuffle 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck. And then we're free to put whatever we want in that last slot. And this is assuming, of course, our opponent is taking a knockout every single turn, which we have some light disruption cards to try and stop that, give us a little bit more breathing room. Speaking of those, we have 1 Counter Catcher. You can only play this card if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, which is something you actually have to be careful of in this deck. Obviously, you're going to fall behind early, but it's entirely possible, and it's the point of the deck, actually, that you will go ahead at some point. So I made this mistake. Remember that it only works if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. 1 Enhanced Hammer, discard a Special Energy. 1 Field Blower, discard any 2 in combination of Stadiums and Tool cards. Let's see, 1 Faba, put a Tool card or Special Energy card into the Lost Zone. 1 Plumeria, discard 2 cards and then discard an energy from your opponent's Pokemon. We have some more setup cards. We have 1 Elm, which allows you to grab 3 Pokemon with 60 or less HP, which is going to be our Mudkips, and the entire Shedinja line has also less than 60 HP. 1 Guzma is going to allow us a little bit of mobility as well as being a Counter Catcher effect when Counter Catcher isn't active. 2 Gladion, since you may be taking prize cards, but if your Missing Clovers are prized, you won't be able to do that. 4 Bill's Analysis, to help us just dig cards out of our deck in the early game when we don't really want to be ending our turn with Stevens, but we still need to be digging more combo pieces out of our deck. We've got 4 Ultra Ball to help set up, 4 Rare Candy to get these Swamperts online, 2 Rescue Stretchers to recur our Pokemon that are going to be knocked out forever and ever and ever, 3 Lookers, draw 3 cards from the bottom of your deck. So this has amazing synergy with Resource Management, obviously. We have 2 Lookers Whistles to dig those Lookers out of our deck. So in the early games, sometimes you can just go for Looker and then Resource Management, a Looker, a Rescue Stretcher, and whatever else you want, and then just Looker for that, Resource Management, Looker, Resource Management, Looker. Dig through your deck in that way. So that's the deck. Let's switch to some games that I played with it. Alright, and here we are with the games. First one I've got here is versus Tony the TTT. Let's see what he's got deck-wise. I'm going to flip the coin, and it's tails. Since tails never fails, I'm going to go first. And I start off with a Mudkip and a Swampert, but no draw supporters. So it looks like I'm going to end up using Water Reserve probably. Thin out my deck, grab some more waters out of my deck. But this is one of the issues with the deck. Obviously, you can just start with something and no draw supporters, since we only do play really a couple that we want to hit on the first turn. Any sort of draw would be really nice here, though. I get a Counter Catcher and a Clover. I have nothing. So I'm just going to have to Ultra Ball so I don't get dunked here too quickly. I'm just going to grab an Oranguru. Little guy with a bit of HP. My opponent has that Turtonator from Dragon Majesty, who has the same attack as the Baby Blacephalon, I believe. Of course, you can't Beast Ring to it, but my opponent slaps down a Shrine and goes for a Cynthia. Now it's going to be awkward because I bet he plays the Naganadel, so we can kind of recover these energy infinitely. As soon as he gets enough energy in play, where he can keep 3 energy on each of those Turtonators, it's going to be pretty awkward, kind of hard to keep him out of it. But we'll see how it goes. Yep. Poipole comes down, so my opponent's going to have access to a lot of energy recovery, which I'm not too excited about. I really can't do anything, so I'm just going to Water Reserve, clean out my deck a little bit. Hopefully I can top deck a draw supporter at some point here. My opponent gets a second energy attachment. And Cynthia, with Naganadel energy switch, he could take a knockout here. So let's see if he has the sauce. He discards Sophocles and fire off of an Ultra Ball, which is getting him a Naganadel. So at the very least, he'll be able to do a charging up. And let's see if he has the energy switch to also take a knockout this turn. He does, and it's, yeah, that's looking very bad for me. It's going to be hard to deny him from this point on. He does obviously have those other Turtonators with 0 energy on them, and they do have the 3 energy attack cost. But, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this game. So far, I do top deck a Looker, so I'm just going to Rescue Stitcher that guy back onto my bench, that little Mudkip. Hopefully we can snag a Rare Candy or something here. I am going to Counter Catch up his guy, and I draw into a bunch of missing Clovers. Good in the end game, obviously, but not right now. I'm just going to put back that Looker, Rescue Stitcher, and Counter Catcher. Counter Catcher and Ultra Ball. Yeah, and realistically, if my opponent can stream knockouts without, or before I get a Rare Candy Swampert here, it's just going to get ugly. Explosive Jet is going to be able to do enough, and he can discard them from anywhere he wants, so as soon as he gets 3 energy on his Turtonators, he can just kind of leave it there. And we have seen the energy switch, so I wouldn't be surprised to see regular switch and more energy switch. My opponent charges up. Don't know what the verb form of that is, but I do get a brief respite. And I consider going for resource management, but at this point, I would rather get. There's nothing in my discard that I desperately need. And frankly, I would rather just get a, if I find a Looker off the top of my deck, then I'll be able to draw the Looker off my bottom of the deck, get into that Looker loop. And I don't really want to wreck that by just putting 3 cards on the bottom of my deck. So I'm just going to pass. My opponent gets another Naganadel and a Fire Energy attachment. So, energy switch incoming, I assume, in 3, 2, 1. Let's see what my opponent has. Oh, he's just charging up. Hopefully no energy switch. Hopefully no energy switch. Hopefully no energy switch. Hopefully no energy switch. That's the wishful button. It's not an energy switch. Multi-switch. Multi-switch works as well, and Explosive Jet is going to be able to take the knockout here. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad from where I'm standing. I have to push my Mudkip up, and I draw the 4th Clover so I can take a prize card. The prize card is an Ultra Ball, so I'm still technically in the game, I guess. I'm going to discard the Swampert and the Energy Recycler with this, and I'm going to get out the Oranguru. I'm going to keep trying to force him to... I need him to discard 3 energies. He doesn't have 3 Naganadels out right now, so discarding 3 energies is actually going to cost him his per turn attachment. And as I say that, he gets his 3rd one out. I immediately consider conceding, because he's just going to blow through me over and over, and I don't have anything. And that's one of the problems with this deck, really. You can see I just didn't get the Stevens, and my deck just didn't set up at all. I have nothing. My opponent's got lots of energy all over the field. Lily gets him 4 extra cards. But I do have the possibility to give up no prize cards, so I'm just going to hang on to this game. You never know when you have a chance still in this game. It's the way Pokemon goes, especially with a deck like this. There's always a chance to come back. So I'm just going to stick it out. Top deck Bills. And I can get a Stevens Resolve. But the issue is he's so set up at this point that he's going to take a knockout this turn. And then I'm going to have to push something up. And then if I don't get another basic Pokemon exactly off the top of my deck, then he'll just knock me out again and I lose. So really could have used this Stevens several turns ago. Of course, it doesn't help that my opponent has barely missed a beat this whole game. He's got that turn 2 attack on a guy that costs 3 energy. Of course, I'm sure he plays a lot of energy switches, but it's still a little frustrating. And then I get the counter catcher, and he gets the energy switch play again. And yeah, he really just hasn't missed too many beats in this game. Charging up all of his guys. Since he only needs 2, he's just going to be building up energy in play. Just discard 2 off those Naganadels. And this is a pretty cool deck that my opponent's playing. I like that. Wishful Baton is going to allow him to pass those energies back, and he's going to only discard them off the Naganadel. Very nice. I do get another Pokemon, so I'm still technically in this game. Counter catcher to grab up the only Turtonator that doesn't have energy. Stevens Resolve again, I guess. I believe I need a Swampert or a Mudkip to have a chance. And then, yeah, for the 3rd card, not sure. Rare Candy's pretty tempting, but I can also just go for another Stevens, since I'm just going to end up benching this Mudkip this turn. So yeah, the idea this time is I'm just going to bench the Mudkip, counter catcher my opponent's Turtonator with no energy on it, and hope that he doesn't have enough energy or energy switches to knock me out again. He's got 1 more fire left in his discard after all these charging up, I think. Oh wait, no, that's going to be his last one. So he does have 10 energy in play. So it's possible that he doesn't have that many left. He's going to have to discard 3 here. The Shrine is doing nothing for my opponent. I imagine he'd also like Viridian Forest, but Shrine, yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, and I misclick, counter catching up the wrong Turtonator. So that game is just over. On to the next one. Immediately concede after that. Yeah, I can't. Even if I counter catched up the right one, I still don't think I could have won. But I've got a much better start this game. Besides only having 1 basic Pokemon, I do have the Stevens resolve, and really, that's all I need to be successful. If I can get one Stevens to stick, I can really just take over a game. And I top deck a Mudkip, so I already have the Rare Candy in hand, so just a Swampert, a Rangaroo, and yeah, not sure what else. Maybe the Professor Elm could be good to help set up the deck a lot. Or yeah, Liquor Whistle gets me 2 supporters for the next 2 turns. Here I'm looking at my Clover count. Yeah, I have one in hand. I think I didn't notice that. I prized 1 Gladian and 1 Clover, and here I thought I prized 2 Clovers and one Gladian, meaning I wouldn't be able to pull off the Clover play without taking a knockout. But yeah, I'm fine. So assuming my opponent doesn't get 2 Trumbeaks and a knockout turn 1, and there's 1 Trumbeak, as I say that, yeah, he's going to need 2 Trumbeaks and a DCE to get a knockout turn 1 on my Nincada. And even if he does, it's not game over. It's a pretty awkward spot that he puts me in, but it's not quite game over. He has the DCE as well. Okay, this is not looking great. Nest Ball, probably going to grab him a Hoppip, yep. And also Lost March, pretty famous for playing multiple Let Loose, so I'm not excited to see what he grabs off this Pokemon Communication. I have a feeling it's going to rhyme with Bar Shadow. And he grabs a Trumbeak, actually, which works out very nicely for me. I'd much rather him take the knockout here than Marshadow me here. Of course, he could end up doing both still, but we'll see. The Trumbeak Mountain Pass doesn't find a support on the top of my deck again. And yeah, he just lost Marches for 40. He definitely could have communicationed for a Marshadow there. I felt like that would have been more powerful of a play, but I get another Mudkip off the top of the deck. So I'm going to retreat that one, and then grab out 2 Lookers with that Whistle. A lot of the cards in my hand are pretty valuable. I think I might end up just going for the Looker first, since I don't really have anything I want to... power draw away. Immediately, I'm going to get the Nincada back. Nincada is pretty cool as well to get back, since not only does it do the no prize thing, but you can push him into the active, evolve it into Shedinja, and then bench an Oranguru, then activate that Vessel of Life ability, and attach it from the active, thereby pushing your Oranguru up. So it gives you like a sort of a free retreater. My opponent had the dead hand, though. He definitely should have Marshadowed. I don't know why he didn't do that. I was going to attach that water, but power draw first seems right. I'm really debating what to do here. I think the Faba is... it's good because it gets rid of his DCE, but I am more worried about setup right now. I'm looking for another rare candy, but I don't find one. So I'm just going to grab the missing Clover and the Stevens Resolve off of this Bill's analysis. I could counter Catcher, and I think I am going to. Just require something out of my opponent to get a knockout here. And yeah, let's Vessel of Life. Vessel of Life up that Oranguru. Make it so it doesn't give up prize cards. Now I do need to get something else down. Another Nincada probably, or an Oranguru, either way. Just something else to push up next turn. And resource management. Counter Catcher, Looker, and Rare Candy maybe? Yeah. Looks like that's what I'm ultimately going to go for. I did toss the Ultra Ball, but hopefully I have enough outs to the other Swampert I can start power drawing more than once per turn. My opponent, Pokemon Communications in a Jumpluff for a Skiploom, no doubt. Yeah. Again, I would have just gone for Marshadow here. the odds you don't draw into a Skip Loom or like a draw supporter or something is pretty high, and it gives you more than just the retreat here. But yeah, my opponent just goes for the Lost March for 80, KOing my Oranguru because of the 40 damage that he already has on him. Alright, I top deck a Palpad, but I'm just going to toss this Guzma, draw 3 fresh ones. Unfortunately, I get the rare candy instead of the Ultra Ball, so I'm just going to get a second rare candy here off of this Looker, but that's okay. Counter Catcher's not really doing me any good either. So for my opponent's only hitting for 80, so I can just only hope and pray that that continues. So I'm going to get back Rescue Stretcher and Looker, so I continue the Looker chain, as well as Faba seems pretty good, since I can Counter Catcher, grab his Natu, and then Faba the energy away. Not that Faba is really any different from an Enhanced Hammer here, since I doubt my opponent has any way to recur those special energies. Lost March only for 80, the Shrine does not affect me. I top deck a Rescue Stretcher here, pretty nice. So I'm going to discard one of these rare candies since I have 2 of them. Not the best cards off of that power draw, but obviously this deck is pretty clunky, so you're just going to need to set up several power draws to really get through all this clunk. Trying to make sure I make the right play here. I end up lookering, so I can grab 2 cards off of this. These 2 Rescue Stretchers I have here. I can grab in Ninkata and another Oranguru. My opponent can take a prize card here, but not too much I can do about that. That's okay. I'm just going to attach the grass preemptively, and then Resource Management, get back, I think, Ultra Ball, so I can get back, so I can get another Swampert, Looker, of course, and Rescue Stretcher. My deck's getting pretty thin, so I think soon we'll be approaching the point where I can, especially with 2 Swamperts online, where I can start shuffling the 3 back in, and then draw into all of them pretty reliably. My opponent gives me another turn basically here by just Lost Marching my Oranguru. He does take a knockout, but yeah, pretty inconsequential as far as board state. I top deck another rare candy, so I'm just going to toss one of those. And I get the Swampert, so we can power draw more. And at this point in the game, I'm feeling pretty good. Once I've got this level of draw power, it's pretty difficult for my opponent to stop this train of Orangurus. I get another Mudkip. And I think I'm going to go for the Counter Catcher Faba play here, since my opponent has demonstrated that his hand is pretty dead. And he is still only doing 80 damage, so he does need to find more modifiers as well as energy cards. I'm going to attach to the Swampert. That's a little bit of a backup. If my opponent doesn't just keeps dead drawing here, I can just attach 3 times and win that way. So obviously not the way I'd like to win, but I'll take what I can get. You need to also note that a Gladian and a Missing Clover are in the prizes, so I will have to take one of those at some point. I will have to either Gladian or take a prize card. Lost March from my opponent here. He gets a DCE and a Mulga. He's going to start Nuzzly Gathering, and then Lost March is for only 80 still. So yeah, this time he's given me has really been invaluable for the setup here. It kind of is allowing me into this game. I get a 3rd Swampert, so this game is just kind of over at this point. I'm going to be able to draw 9 cards per turn extra, and I will definitely have enough resources to be able to pull this off. Another power draw, discarding those Lookers. Not really going to be useful to me, as the bottom of my deck is soon going to be the top of my deck. And yeah, I can attach another one to that Swampert since I have another spare turn. Bench an Inkata and a Oranguru. And then yeah, I do have the time to Gladian, so I'm just going to grab out the missing Clover. Plumeria is locked up in there, and since my other Gladian is prized, I will never be able to get that. Or not, at least not until I take some prizes, but mulling over my options here. Resource management it is. So I'll definitely want that enhanced hammer back. And the Faba, yes. And then I don't have any rescue stretchers in there, so maybe just a Pokemon that I would like. Considering grabbing a Water Energy. This one's pretty good. It's a pretty difficult one. You've really got to be careful about these resource managements. I decided to end up going with Enhanced Hammer, Faba, and a Rangaroo. My opponent, Erica's Hospitalities, finally gets a Draw Supporter. And with this second Skip Loom, he's going to have enough power to knock out my Rangaroos with Lost March every time from now on. Pecom shuffles back in a Jumpluff for probably another Hoppip. Or maybe finally a Let Loose. Nope. Just another Hoppip. Grass Energy comes down on his Natu and retreats into the Jumpluff for a Lost March. He's going to throw down a Nest Ball first. Grabbing him in a Rangaroo, that's even better for me. He also has a two retreat cost, sorry. He doesn't have the Lost March tag. That's definitely my new stall target. So I'm going to push up the other Rangaroo. And we're going to dig 11 cards deep. So I could toss this Bill's Analysis. Don't think I'll need that anymore. I have all 4 Clovers in my hand. So if I want to at any point, I can take a prize card here. I draw into both the Rescue Stretchers and the Liquor Whistle. And Counter Catcher, Enhanced Hammer, all that good stuff. So I'm going to bring up that Monkey immediately. I will bench my Monkey, play down the Shedinja. Yep, my opponent sends me a surprise face. Don't really know what he's super surprised about there, I already showed him that. But yeah, I'm going to shuffle those 3 back in with the Rescue Stretcher. And then I'm going to Looker. I'm actually guaranteed to draw one of those Ninkata off the Looker since I put 2 back in and there's only 4 cards left in my deck. But yeah, I'm just going to attach to the Rangaroo. Resource Management, once again, gets me Counter Catcher, I believe Rescue Stretcher. And last card's a little bit tricky. Shedinja seems pretty good. I believe that's also my last card in deck. So I'll have two Shedinjas now. I'm going to have to throw down that Energy Recycler pretty soon. And yeah, I'm just going to sit on these Clovers. I think I might use it next turn, but I just want to be in the right position to use them. I couldn't really recover them the turn before, so there's really no point in throwing them down. My opponent gets a Net Ball here. Just going to net him 1 Grass Energy. And he's going to attach that to his Jumpluff. Just waiting in the DCE, looks like, to retrieve his Rangaroo. And Lost Blender gets him even more damage as well as drawing a card. But he passes it over to my turn. And yeah, I'm just going to power draw away the Stevens. No longer need that. Energy Recycler, put 5 waters back in. And the thing I really like about this is it's the most efficient way to put back cards. It's the single card that gets you the most value, basically. I discard an Ultra Ball off another power draw. But yeah, from now on I'm basically going to be power drawing away water energies, since I can get back 5 of them for just the 1 energy recycler. And take a prize card. With my 4 Clovers, take my first prize card of the game. I get a Ninkata, free him up off the prizes, which is pretty nice. And yeah, no reason to put a Shedinja on one of my benched guys. It's just going to be targeted down by my opponent. I'm going to speed the game up a little bit here, since you guys saw how this works basically. I'm just going to resource management, shuffle back in cards that I need to get the Oranguru Shedinja combo, as well as trying to get this Oranguru stuck in the active on my opponent's side. He's going to activate Floor Path of the Sky. He's got to take Liza to switch out his Oranguru, but I have the counter catcher in hand. 200 damage, annihilates my Oranguru. But yep, another one comes down. Shedinja, no prizes for you. Counter catcher up that guy. Bench the other Ninkata. Water energy. No reason to play anything else. Just going to resource management back. Clover piece, counter catcher. I think I have enough room for another Clover actually. On my 3. Alright, my opponent lilies for a couple. Mountain Pass. Doesn't get a supporter obviously. I think he's just doing it to thin it out of his deck, but I believe he sees the 3 I put back in with resource management, so he should know that there's no supporter card there, but that's on him. Anyways, 3 cards go back in. I only have 3 water energies in there now, so I'm not going to bother with the energy recycler yet. I'll discard 1, and then just resource management. Getting me back the last piece of the missing Clover, a rescue stretcher and the energy recycler, so I can just keep this train going. And yeah, you can basically see how this is just gonna go. I'm just gonna power draw away water for 3 waters, power draw away a water for the last piece of the Clover and the other stuff I need. Clover, take a prize card. Yeah, my opponent's pretty surprised about that, but I'm just gonna cut it here. Show you the rest of this battle pretty quickly. My opponent Guzma's out my Swampert, KOs it. Yeah, I'm just gonna push up a monkey here. I cut out a couple turns obviously, but so I do have the Clovers back, and I make a pretty big misplay here. I just go for the Clover right away. I'm used to playing stall decks, and where the counter catcher is always active, so this misplay is a little awkward here. I don't, counter catcher's not active. It's really kind of tilted me. I need Guzma, which I do have in deck, but yeah, it's just awkward. Guzma up his Oranguru, put my Oranguru up. Shedinja, attach it. I draw the last card of my deck, and I discard the water, but the last card of my deck is not a water energy. So yeah, I kind of messed up here a good bit. Thankfully I do still have the energy recycler and I can bring it back. Just put 5 water energies, and hopefully my opponent doesn't get out of this little lock here that I have with the Oranguru. He does not, and yeah, a couple more turns of resource management gets me another prize card. My opponent attaches the grass. Back to my turn, and yep, more turns of resource management have gone by, so I get another prize card with missing Clover. Down to my last prize card. My opponent still has 3. He does get a Guzma. Guzma's up my Ninkata, but both of my Orangurus already have a Shedinja on them, so it'll just be a matter of time. I Guzma up his Oranguru again. Bench another Ninkata, and yeah, my opponent hits a Psychic, but I have resource management enough that I have all the cards I need in my hand. Power draw once gets me my last 4 Clovers. My opponent says I have a good deck. I hit him back with that. Yeah. And I take my last prize card. It's a very satisfying feeling. That took forever. I know I cut it a lot, but yeah, that was like a 30-ish minute game, so it feels pretty good to win. Alright, and let's crack some packs after that amazing win. I can't believe we got a win. Took all 6 prizes with the missing Clover. So much fun, I can't believe it actually worked out. Obviously this deck is not that competitive, it's never really going to work out. I think I played about 5 games before getting that win. A lot of times you're just going to get your Pokemon annihilated, but you know, 1 in 5 games you're going to win with missing Clover, so kind of worth it, isn't it? Let's see, I got Meganium Prime. With that Leaf Trans ability, he can move grass energy around on all your Pokemon. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else. The Metal Energy, I think that's my first one of the Heart Gold Soul Silver series. Pokemon Collector, this card is amazing. Love these little Play-Doh guys. You can search your deck for a grass Pokemon and put it into your hand. That's pretty cool. And yeah, nothing that amazing out of these packs. Alright, I think that's about it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.